When you boil something to your essence, it's actually really simple and kind of, it's not really that interesting. But when you boil something to the essence in like an unusual way, that to me is interesting, you know? So it's like taking the long way to get to a point, you know? Like riddles are about like clear ideas, you know? Like a riddle about something really confusing doesn't really work, you know? Like a riddle is about like a simple thing, you know? But it's like this, you know, it's like circular language. It's like how many times can you say what came first, the chicken or the egg, you know, with a visual. And like basically like for me it's like everything I do is about like people, how things operate, you know, in relationship to each other. So it's like eggs and chickens, and how many times can I say that, you know? He's at a potter's wheel and his head is becoming the pot, and it's like my mind or me becoming my art. I mean, there's definitely like this thread in my work, and it can't be summed up as easily as like kind of like simplifying things, you know? But there are things like definitely when I look back and I look what I'm doing now, and there are like definitely like central. The thing I noticed like that's crazy is like I can look back 10 years ago and it's the same ideas. Like the ideas are really the same. It's like all the same stuff. This same, which is like hard to describe, but it's like the same ideas. It's like a house looks like a house in my paintings, and a bridge looks like a bridge in my paintings. You know, it's never like an interesting version of a bridge. It's like the most basic version. You know, everything's kind of like basic, but you're taking the long way to get there or something. Like simplicity is kind of confrontational in that if it's a very quick read, you have no choice but to read it, you know? Like when you're walking down the street, it's like FUBU, Pepsi, whatever, you know, like it's like there's that kind of like fast read experience. And for some reason it's like, and like I pursued that, like, and I still pursue that kind of idea of the fast read. And then how complicated can the idea be behind the fast read? If a guy's like playing piano and his fingers are piano keys, it's like this fast read, but it's kind of ambiguous. It's like this ambiguous way of talking about, you know, creativity or inspiration. I always thought like, I'm gonna draw forever, and that's the way I'm gonna work. And so I thought I was gonna be like an architect or something, because I didn't know that you could like do graphics. I think it's like the way I grew up, it's like not like there was like the option to be an artist, you know? Like you needed a job. Like my dad was a lawyer, my mom was a teacher, and so like I was like, well, what kind of job can I get where I draw? And then it's kind of like through like making zines and like doing skateboards for like just drawing on skateboards or whatever and doing posters. And then I started like doing t-shirts for like the shop that sponsored me for skateboarding. And it just kind of like, you slowly realize like, oh, I can just do this. Like I want to take graphics and do it in a gallery, like kind of as part of a show. And I want to do animation and film work. And that's just what I did. And I was just like, anything that came, I would like, somebody come for me to do a poster and I'd say like, well, what if I did an animation for you for this or that, you know? And I just like pushed this kind of work and just focused on that. Because I knew being a graphic designer in any sort of traditional way just was not, there's no way that it was gonna work out. So it was just kind of, and then that's just still what I do to this day.